and welcome to Buzz TV. I'm your host, Adrienne Houghton, and we have got an exciting show for you today. There's everything from restaurants and charities and galleries and something for everyone, really family favorites. So watch this space and find out more on Buzz TV. Greetings and welcome to the Jacksonville Buzz. I am your host, Adrienne Houghton. Joining me today is Captain Lincoln from Fireteam Whiskey, and let's find out all about that. Welcome to the studio, Captain Lincoln.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm really excited.
It's an absolute pleasure. So tell me a little bit about yourself, first of all.
Yeah, I actually was born and raised, one of the very few left in Jacksonville. So I'm a native, and my father was in the Navy, and I come from a long line of military serving people, mainly men, and I was actually the first woman in my family to raise my right hand at the age of 17. But I joined the Army. I kind of betrayed my dad. And it was the best decision I ever made. It really developed me as a person. But along the way, I noticed a lot of things about the health and wellness of the military. They didn't really do a very good job with it. It was very hardcore, but they didn't really focus a lot on nutrition and self-care and kind of all the things that go into health. We just think of people in the military as being at the peak of their fitness and wellness. So I kind of had that in the back of my head for a while. And as I got out of the military and kind of looked around with what I should be doing with my life, I was doing military mental health, but it just kind of became very clear to me that the military needed a kind of a holistic wellness program to address all the aspects of health, not just working out really hard, but taking care of the mind, the soul, the spirit, the body, the nutrition, and kind of implementing that holistic wellness approach.
And hence, Fireteam Whiskey.
Fireteam Whiskey.
So tell us about Fireteam Whiskey. I mean, it's an interesting name.
It is. It gets your attention, doesn't it? So I like whiskey, but I came up with the concept of Fireteam. And if you're familiar with the military, you know that the Fireteam is the smallest unit in the military. It's your 5 or 6 guys and gals who basically do everything together, and everybody is a specialist in something. But the mission is we all kind of cross the finish line together. We can't do our jobs without each other. So where I'm weak, I have somebody on my fire team that's strong. So I wanted the concept of Fireteam Whiskey to basically take our participants who join our program and surround them with a fire team, a team of experts. Wow. So, I've got an Army Master Fitness trainer who works for us. He's one of our trainers. I've got a guy who his kind of specialty is in, family and wellness. He has 5 kids, so working with, moms and dads and kind of getting the whole family on board. I have a license in mental health counseling, so I kind of take the wellness piece. So we have people who have all these expertise in all these different areas, and we surround you and we get you across that finish line. So we will not accomplish this mission without you, but we will help you along the way.
And is this just for veterans?
It is not. So we get that question all the time, and it is a little intimidating. I mean, obviously, we're a military-style program. We have military-style workouts.
Does that mean you shout at everybody?
Yes, I kind of do. If you do any of my fitness videos, I am very firm. One of my jobs in the military, in the Army, I actually was an officer version of a drill instructor. So I did a lot of yelling and screaming and telling people to do push-ups.
So little.
Yes. And I got voted the meanest TAC officer one year, which was not fair because I was the only woman. So, of course, it's a little bit of bias. A lot of people don't like women yelling at them. So I digress. Yes. So there's a little bit of, I call it tough love. I don't like when people just kind of are half-hearted about their wellness. When we closely screen the people who join us, and we make sure that you're ready to commit. You know, if you just want to have some sort of gym membership and never go, there's plenty of gyms who will accept your money out there.
Absolutely.
So that's not what we do. You know, every single participant who comes into our program, we are surrounding you and we are getting you to that finish line. So we don't really accept kind of a half-hearted, well, I'll kind of dabble in this. You've got to be all in. And so and you got to expect that tough love from us because, you know, sometimes we get in our own way, right? So that's the hardest part about this, the fitness and wellness journey.
Are you catering for each individual person, or do you have a program that will work with any need?
We do. We have kind of a general app participation program. So you get access to everything. It's kind of our DIY. We do some group coaching and I kind of check in with you. We kind of sniper check you along the way. But it's for people who are kind of self-motivated and are, you know, maybe already kind of halfway along on their wellness journey. So yes, we have our fitness app. You get access to hundreds of our workout programs, all of our nutrition plans, hundreds of recipes. We have Warrior Wellness videos. We have Warrior Fuel, which is our cooking show. So you get everything. And then we do have the personal training packages where, you know, you work with me, Captain Lincoln, one-on-one, or, you know, Marcus Wallace, who's our Army Master Fitness Trainer, and Jim Walter, who's our first responder trainer. So we customize, we find out who would be best to work with you and take you through our program 90 days at a time and see how you do. And then maybe we can kind of push you out of the nest and let you do our DIY program from there.
Sounds wonderful. Sounds wonderful. Now, you mentioned an app. So how do people find out about you and your app?
Yeah, just go to fireteamwhiskey.com and right there you actually can sign up for 2 weeks for free on our app. You get 2 weeks of results. Find out if it works for you. If you really like our style, then we'd love to talk to you more and get you signed up with one of our programs. So fireteamwhiskey.com.
Captain Stephanie Lincoln, thank you so much for coming in and talking about Fireteam Whiskey.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for having me.
And don't forget, if you'd like to know any more information, you can always find out at iwannabuzz.com.
Welcome back to the Jacksonville Buzz. I'm Steve Strum. This morning we have Wayne Clark running for sheriff. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Steve.
So we were talking offset a little bit before the interview. You have had a 40-year career in law enforcement.
That's correct.
Starting off at the bright young age of 2 as a volunteer police officer through the corrections department, patrol, sergeant, lieutenant. Let's see how I get the rest of this. In charge of and command of zones and sections in some of the harder hit areas of Jacksonville.
Yes.
30 years in, you go to the airport.
That's correct.
You spend some time at the airport, Homeland Security, airport safety, in a very interesting universe. Finish some successful career stuff there. Then you go to the school board, and now you were the chief of police for the school system.
That's correct.
So Jacksonville at large, Homeland Security, police in the airport safety, kids. After 40 years, why are you running for sheriff? And by the way, thank you for your service. I come from a blue and red family, so I get how that goes.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that opportunity. I love Jacksonville. I was born here, raised on the east side. I have a passion for Jacksonville. And in my 40-year law enforcement career, I've seen tremendous change from the agency. When I came on the agency, we were at around 500 police officers. We're almost at 1,700 now. When we look at the time that I've been on, the city population is almost doubled. I've seen Jacksonville grow from a small city now to a great city. And I see the opportunity that we have coming before us. We're now at about 1 million people. We have investment dollars coming in. Jacksonville is a hot job market. I am available now to give myself as a servant leader to the community. I think that I have the vision, the experience, and the qualifications to lead this agency into the next phase of their operation. You mentioned my career at the Sheriff's Office. I've had the opportunity to do tremendous things to help reduce violent crime, to help reduce traffic fatalities, to work in the community, to learn the whole concepts behind community policing. And I think that building that relationship in the Sheriff's Office with trust gives me this great opportunity to lead. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, let me just say this, is a very good sheriff's office. We have a lot of young officers coming on, and what I think that we need now is consistent, visionary leadership to lead that agency from a good agency to a great agency.
So when you talk about being top cop, right?
Yes.
You were at some level in charge of a lot of decisions to make.
Yes.
So going from Jacksonville's general population dealing with the drugs and the crime and speeding and fatalities and just all of the things that keep you guys, busy protecting us, to then going into airport security, which is a totally different scenario because we live in the age of terrorism, and that's a very scary and real situation, to then molding the kids, which is in a completely different environment than what you and I grew up in. How are these different pieces, things that qualify you uniquely to be a sheriff in one of the fastest growing cities in the United States?
It's very interesting. Going to the airport, one thing that you must be, to be an effective leader, you must be somewhat flexible, come into the room with an open mind to understand that you don't have all the answers. And there are other smart people, and especially going from a state law environment when dealing with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, now going into a federal environment, dealing with TSA and all the regulatory stuff with TSA.
Sure.
Just like with the city here, with all the dynamic communities we have now, my first job was to get to know my counterparts in TSA, to build that relationship. Like Stephen Covey talks about seeking first to understand, then to be understood. What is it that you need from me so that I can make sure that my people give you that so that we can keep that relationship? During my time at the airport, while we had some violations, through the relationship, I was able to mitigate those fines, because typically how they punish you is a fine, that we never had a significant fine at the airport, because when they brought a problem to me, I looked at the problem. You are correct. What do I need to do to fix this? A lot of times people, they think they're the best way of doing things. I'm all about learning. I'm all about making sure that we keep our people safe. They were my regulatory agent, and we did our best when they brought it to us. So we had a great relationship at the airport working with our federal partners. And when we transitioned to come to the school system, having gone to the school systems here locally, having worked at the sheriff's office around the school, I had no idea of the challenges and the complexities of working in the school system until I became the police chief at the school system. So this was a great privilege to work and understand the challenges of our youth from the elementary, middle, and high schools. And I think now understanding what they go through, and now I can do better as a sheriff in making sure that we provide those services during school and after school and into the early parts of their life.
There is, in 40 years, way more than we can cover in 5 minutes.
Yes.
I'd love to have you back on, but in the interim, if people want to find out more about you, your campaign, your value proposition, what the servant leadership business is, how do people connect with you? How do they find out more?
They can go to my website. The website is WayneClarkForSheriff2023.com. They can volunteer. They can contribute. They can look around to get to know me better. So that's what they can do.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning, and to your 40-year career, and then going and back for more. Really appreciate that, keeping our city safe as we grow into that 21st century.
I sure appreciate it. Thank you, Steve, for having me on.
Absolutely.
All right, appreciate it.
Guys, thanks so much for joining us on the Jacksonville Buzz. If you like us, share us, and remember, live with gratitude.
Welcome back to another episode of On a Mission. I'm your host, Dr. Wendy Norfleet with Norfleet Integrated Solutions. And it is my pleasure to have with me today Mariah Smith with Career Catalyst. Welcome, Mariah.
Thank you so much for having me, Wendy.
So, Mariah, there are so many different career things. Our company does a little career, some career things too, but your advantage is that you're really trying to help the underserved, I guess the underrepresented. So tell us a little bit more about, the basis for your foundation.
Sure.
I'm sorry, organization.
Of course. And so, yes, we really were established back in 2020 to focus on minority young professionals that are aspiring professionals within the healthcare, STEM, and entrepreneurial spaces, mainly because those are spaces in which you don't see them as often. And sometimes it can be very difficult to navigate your way through. I've noticed in my time as an undergrad as well as a grad student, there are a lot of people out there that really just don't have the support system of a family member that may have gone that route. And so really what we were created to do is to try to provide those resources for students as they're navigating different opportunities, whether it's an internship, a co-op, which stands for cooperative education within the engineering space, or just trying to figure out a career plan. And so we really do try to partner with those students and healthcare or aspiring careerists in order to understand what they're interested in, where their strengths lie, and really try to connect them to opportunities, whether it's through mentors or just by way of our own knowledge that we've acquired through the different opportunities that we've had. And so we really do have a diverse group of people on our team. My background is mainly healthcare, and so I do bring a lot of value for professionals that are seeking opportunities in that space. But I actually had an entry level position as an engineer when I was first off studying engineering in undergrad. And so I have some background in that. I've actually completed an entire co-op for a company. And so I understand that lens as well. And then my other co-founder is more so geared around entrepreneurship. She's had a few different businesses of her own, both virtual and brick and mortar. And so she brings that as well as healthcare experience in the clinical research sector.
Do you guys do anything? Because I'm part of a group of executive women that we have a girls in IT group. And so we know the hardships they face because one of the things that we did, and it's in Andrew Jackson, is because while there may be 100 and some people in their technology academy, there's only 20 something girls.
Right.
And so what they're doing is when they're dispersing the classes, there's only one or two of them. And so they don't see themselves. And so therefore they end up dropping out or want to change their major or something like that. And we don't want that to happen because we need more women in technology. And so that's a huge gap. Do you guys also cover technology like IT, computer science, things like that?
Yes, we do. And we're starting to try to implement this program that we've created called Jumpstart Academy, and really it would just be a cohort program for different people in various positions and with different interests. And so we're looking to try to leverage some of those groups, such as Girls Who Code and things like that, in order to provide mentor opportunities for them as they're entering. Right now, we're pretty much entering into like the Black women in clinical research groups. There are some other minority healthcare and other groups like that we're looking at as well. But we haven't had the chance to do too much work in that. We're still a relatively new company. We've only been founded a year ago. And so we have a lot of upcoming ideas and things that we have planned to implement in the next few years.
Are you completely online, or do you have in-person sessions or?
So we are primarily virtual, but we do a lot of partnerships with other groups, and sometimes they're in person. So recently we've had the chance to partner with the University of North Florida's HASA organization. And so we've done some in-person sessions with them. We've had the chance to connect with their students. So it's really a hybrid, but I think the beauty of having this type of business is that you're able to impact so many people because we have that capability of doing it virtual.
Okay, yeah. Because I remember, when I got my first computer science degree, thankfully, I had a job. And but I know a lot of people who didn't know, and the connections weren't really there.
Right.
And so I definitely applaud you for starting this type of organization.
Thank you.
So I think it was your tip was for people to follow their P's, their passion and their potential, right?
That's right.
I remember that. All right. And so that's what you're practicing, right? You're practicing what you preach.
Correct. Yes. So I currently work in healthcare. That's my full-time job, but I really enjoy this work as well. So I think that it's just basically accentuating what I'm getting in my 9-to-5 job by having acquired different skills and being able to consult with people, figuring out where they are and helping them kind of navigate their own career plan. And so I think this is really kind of just the highlight of being able to kind of have your own business while still practicing what you preach and being able to grow in your career as well. That's what I've been doing.
That's great. So if someone wants to know more about the organization and or, to reach out to see what it's about, maybe to mentor or something, how do they contact?
Yeah, so we would love that. We can be contacted by phone at 205-201-0197. We also can be found on the internet through our website, www.careercatalyst.co.com. And we're also available on all social media platforms, which includes Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. And you can find us with the same handle of Career Catalyst Co.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Okay. Thank you very much for joining us for another episode of On a Mission. To learn more about Mariah Smith and Career Catalyst, please go to iwannabuzz.com. And we'll see you next time on Buzz TV.
Welcome back to Buzzworthy Business. I'm Steve Strum. This morning we have Chris Campione from Campione Law and Chris Carvajal from South Edge Construction. But today we're here to talk about the Real Men Wear Pink. So, Chris, right?
Morning,
exactly.
Steve.
Chris and Chris. Chris, tell us a little bit about why you're here.
Yeah, my name's Chris Carvajal. I'm the owner of South Edge Construction. We do roofing here in Jacksonville, Florida, and we learned about the 2021 Real Men Wear Pink campaign from my good buddy Chris Campione, the co-chairman. It's a program to raise money for the American Cancer Society and bring awareness to all the people that are affected from breast cancer, not just the clients, the patients, everybody associated with it.
So we have known each other for a little bit.
Yes, we have.
We've known each other for a little bit less. Mm-hmm. But one of the things that all three of us have a tie to is this Real Men Wear Pink campaign. And so you're the chairperson this year. Tell us a little bit about what the Real Men Wear Pink is, for those that don't know, kind of what happened last year and what you guys are trying to do to make sure research stays stabilized. And both of you guys are local business owners, just trying to help out.
Absolutely. Our firm, it's very important to our firm to give back to the community in ways we can. And this is one of the ways that I think has one of the biggest impacts. And I appreciate, Steve, you participating in, I think, the 2018 campaign.
I think so.
Since 2016, since the inception in Jacksonville, the Real Men Wear Pink campaign has raised over $500,000 for the American Cancer Society. We're actually an offshoot of the American Cancer Society. And what we do is every year, the group gets together, nominates approximately 30 to 40 men that go out in the community and try to raise money for breast cancer research. And beyond breast cancer research, we're also, the American Cancer Society also provides transportation to treatments and other vital things for cancer patients that, help them along the way to their recovery, and also, finding new ways to hopefully cure this disease in the long run.
So one of the things that was very important for me when that happened was obviously personal ties to breast cancer, but also when people raise money, there's always the, give me money, right? I mean, which of course that's part of donations. Mm-hmm. One of the things that I found interesting when I was asked to do the Real Men Wear Pink campaign was really innovative ways to have fun, but then also to be able to raise dollars to people, to organizations that it's like, okay, I can get it quicker so that we can meet our goals faster. And now you almost got to double up, right? Because last year was tough, right?
Yes. So, last year was very tough. With the corona pandemic, for whatever reason, I think people were a little bit more focused on that than other things that they would normally be doing in their lives. The donations and the funding simply for the American Cancer Society were way down. So this year we're trying to, really do shows like yours to be able to bring attention back to it and hopefully to raise the money to make up for the shortfall last year, because the research being done is absolutely vital.
Right, and breast cancer is not just for October for those that have it, and of course that doesn't, take time off for a pandemic.
Absolutely.
So what are some of the fun things that you guys have coming up? I know you guys have a golf tournament.
Yeah, so we got a few things coming up. The biggest thing we have coming up is on October 15th, we've got a golf tournament out at Deer Creek. So if you go to the American Cancer Society /Real Men Wear Pink website, you'll be able to purchase a foursome, sponsor a hole, potentially become one of the title tournament sponsors. We've got a lot of fun things going on at the tournament. I think we're going to have some PGA players there, have some Jacksonville Jaguars cheerleaders, have some great giveaways, silent auction items, and things of that nature.
Wow, that's fantastic. And so one of the things that I loved was when we did those events, right, pre-pandemic, is a way for us to get together, collaborate, raise money, but then have fun.
Absolutely.
So are there any other items out there, a couple things that I think would be really neat that I'd be more than happy to help if I can. We had this really neat happy hour, silent auction-ish thing. Any plans for that? And if not, let me help you out with that one, because I'd be more than happy to. Can I be a Real Men Wear Pinkish? I know I've already served I've served my time, but how can people that have been previously engaged with this, or people that want to get engaged, in all sincerity, how can they find out more?
Absolutely. So I think what you were mentioning is Drinks for a Cause, which we're doing October 16th at the Embassy Suites on Bay Meadows. It's a great event where all the men come out. They serve drinks. They all have their individual bars. Support your men out there. Go to that event. Have some drinks. Donate via tip to the men that are out there.
Right, because all of that money went to the organization.
100% of that money goes to the organization. Now, if you want to learn more about the organization, there's a Facebook page for Real Men Wear Pink of Northeast Florida. We also have a website that's linked to that. We'll post a link here later. But if you follow those pages, you're going to be able to find all the events that we're putting on this year. But the big one is the golf tournament coming up. So, I hope those, that want to give but also want to have a little bit of fun with us, come on out to that golf tournament.
You going to have that trick shot guy again?
Absolutely.
Oh, that was fantastic.
Absolutely.
The guy hit a golf ball like a baseball. I was like, how did it, and it went backwards somehow. Okay, and then, of course, I'm sure on y'all's websites you're going to have linked out. What's the best way to reach out to your website for the firm so they can see what you're up to and what you're doing in the community?
Absolutely. Best thing you can do is go to campionlawpa.com. We've got everything up on our website, and you could also, send me an email as well. My email address is on that website.
And then the other Chris?
Yep. On our social media page, which is at South Edge 904, we'll have a link to where you could donate, and as well as videos that we'll be posting for the next 2 months to make sure I can reach my goal. Visit our site, South Edge Construction. Thank you.
Absolutely. And I'd say, go to the American Cancer Society's website for Real Men Wear Pink. You'll see great guys like Chris who are participating this year. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys knew a few people on there. So, go on there, check it out, see who's doing it this year, and, please give where you can.
So, local business owners, golf tournaments, happy hours, all kinds of fun stuff, all for a great cause.
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming on, guys.
Absolutely.
And thanks for coming back on.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Hey, it's a special one for me. Please consider participating and contributing to the Real Men Wear Pink. It is not just October for people with breast cancer. Thank you for joining us on Buzzworthy Business. If you like us, share us. Remember, live with gratitude.
Wow, that was fantastic. What a great show, and what interesting businesses. Don't forget, if you need any more information, you can go to iwannabuzz.com. Bye for now.